gentlemen, and welcome to another fantastic weekend of Formula One racing here on the EGL Extreme Gaming League. I'm Tipsy Bob, and joining me on the mic is my trusty sidekick and my good friend, Dad Vance. Covering all the action today, we're going to be covering everywhere from Monaco, Singapore, Abu Dhabi, and Bahrain, all across the world, all across the country. We have a full grid lined up, some of the best talent around the world. We have plucked them from all corners of the earth to give you some of the greatest racing experience viewing footage you'll ever see in your lifetime. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the EGL. There we go. All the cars are all lining up on the grid. They're all getting ready. The drivers will be focusing on their first corner. Are they going to take it? What are they going to do? Is it going to go deep? Are they going to go? Who knows? Let's take out and away we go! DRS is still active, and if Timo wants to get this moved on, he's gonna need to use this DRS zone, because I have a feeling... Oh no, Timo comes under pressure in the traction zone. I pressed to mount up another overtake on 23 trademark. This is round 3.
And Timo, our coach. Oh, it's not pit. Oh no! Oh my god, this so sorry, control myself. So Timo.
So what we gotta do so they can start at the back together again, just like Timo likes it.
How many times? Did you see how many times Timo tried to get into the pit?
Hello ladies and gentlemen, you're joining us for another 2SRL race. It's the last one of the week, and joining me on the mic today will be Boosted Mess. He is in the background there. He's just trying to sort some technical issues out, but we have one car out on track. Well, actually we have a number of cars now out on track, but we have one car, Alex Burbo, on his first out lap of the day. As you can see, it's dry conditions. I've got Dragon in chat saying hello, so hello to Dragon. But yes, Alex Burbo at this wonderful Brazilian track. It's a classic. It's the home country of famous driver, you might have heard of him, Senna. But yes, Alex Burbo heading into sector 2 right now, and for these fast right-handers, trying to take as shallow line as possible, and it's the infield section, quite a technical, winding part of the track, and it's all about throttle control, traction control. Oh, we've got Niels as well. Hello, Niels Veldman. I believe he is also known as Sanex. Isn't that right, Niels? Yes, so as expected, Alex Burbo setting purple sectors here, as he is the only guy on a lap at the minute. Well, actually, he's got a bunch of guys behind him, but he's about to cross the finish line here, and we're going to get our first indication of a decent lap time as he sets a 107.341. So he is looking pretty good. Low sevens are, yeah, they're pretty tasty, but really, I think the fast guys, the Alien-S guys, are going to be setting mid sixes to high sixes. And some idiot there with a 107.1 on mediums. Times are coming in thick and fast here. Let's see if we can join it. Drivers as they cross the line. Terror with a 107.0. Fox 7.7. So that time is some idiot there. 7.1. That is quite incredible on the medium tire compound. I am very, very impressed with that. Timo with a 108.1. Ooh, and loses the back end as he heads through the fast right-handers there. It is quite a tricky part to get right there. You want to get the throttle on full power as quickly as possible, but if you don't get the line right, you'll see what happens there, just as Timo demonstrates. And who else have we got on a lap? We've got Hugo. Is he... Let's see. Yeah, he's on an out lap, it looks like. You can get four runs in, usually, in qualifying, if you get out pretty quickly here. But I think some of these guys are just not in a hurry to get these laps on the board. Copy on an out lap legend here is setting a purple middle sector. We saw last week he put it on pole in the dying seconds of the qualifying session. He is a new guy to no assists. Comes in P3 there, and legend 106.864. So the first driver to get a 106 is my man Legend here. I'm just going to double check something. Just bear with me a second. Okay, can't do that. Yeah, what a lap time there from Legend, 106.8. Straight out of the gates, first hot lap, and it's a 106 for him. But Hugo there, 107.0. I've seen this guy set low sixes throughout the week here, and his first run, low 7, just pipping Terror. So current front row lockout is 106.8 from Legend, Hugo 107.0. And this is such a short track that yeah, these lap times will come in thick and fast. And if you're wondering why I am currently talking to myself here, it's Boost of Messes. He's about there in the background. He is just trying to get back into the session here, so he will join us momentarily. And there's a yellow flag in Sector 2. I think that's an Alpha. Yeah, I'm not sure who that... I think it might have been Hugo, actually. Just going a bit slow there. Has he run out of fuel, maybe? Yep. He has no fuel, so he might have done 2 runs. Yeah, he did 2 laps, sorry, on those medium tires, and I actually didn't catch that there until just now. Hugo set that 107 flat on mediums. What pace? What pace? I mean, I did a 7. I think my PB was a 7.7 on softs, and I felt like I got absolutely everything out of the car, but obviously not. There's still pace left on the track there, as these guys are in tier 1, no assists, and top level stuff here at the front end of the grid. And I see Boost of Mess joined the session again. Hopefully he's back with us.
Yep, I'm currently looking at a black screen at the minute, but fingers crossed get loaded in with no issues this time.
Yeah, so just while you're waiting there, I'm just thinking about strategies. I mean, we've been racing at Brazil all week. We've had all the 4 tier races in SLR, and this is going to be the 3rd one for us at Brazil. Mostly, yeah, it's mostly soft medium or medium soft. I've seen a few guys do soft hards. But really, you want to stay on these softer tire compounds. And Danny,
I think soft medium is definitely the kind of preferred strategy for this track. Generally speaking, it's what we've seen the most of during this week. There's been the occasional kind of 2-stopper where they've gone soft, medium, soft, usually when there's been an incident and whatnot. But we've also seen a hell of a lot of safety cars in this week. So yeah, we should be in for quite an action-packed race today.
I got Terror on another hot lap here. He's currently 2/10 up in his time, which would actually put him runabout in contention of pole. Let's see how he does in the last sector. He does say that this track does prefer the OP pad setup, and he is currently on a pad. No assist, believe it or not. He puts a P2. Just yeah, I think he lost a bit of time there in sector 3 because he's still about 2/10 off some idiot who has done. Oh, I missed that. Some idiot did do a hot lap there on soft on his 106.6. So yeah, in fact, Terror did put in a pretty stellar lap there. He pipped a legend, but some idiot just pipping some idiot there. Sorry, Terror just pipping some idiot pipping Terror. I'm tripping over my words here. So a few drivers still to set times. Danico, he invalidated there on his hot lap. Richard Grunswald yet to put a time on the board. Copy is sitting in the pits for the last 6 minutes. I wonder if is he doing the last to first challenge? Let's see.
An unusual choice from him because he's actually in contention for third at the minute, I believe. He's fighting with Danny for third position, so yeah, that would be an unusual decision from him. The championship's certainly not over for him yet.
Richard Grunswald about to cross the line here, puts himself P4, and I think he did pick up a purple sector 2 there, according to the mini map. But a 106.9, so we're starting to see these 6s come in thick and fast. I think in the SLR tier 1 it was like top 8 were 106.
Okay, and I'm finally with everybody in the race now, so I can only apologise for that for everybody that's watching. Just a bit of a technical hiccup there, I'm not sure what happened.
Happy days. Order is resumed, yes. So Boots of Mess joining me in the commentary booth today for this one. And yeah, I was saying that, you know, we've done these races during the week. We've done a lot of practice sessions here. We may not be the fastest guys. Well, actually, we definitely are not the fastest guys, but yeah, hopefully we know a thing or two, and we can keep a track of this race here. As I think it's going to be an interesting one. You've got a lot of fast guys in here, and in a lot of races you see safety cars come out. I think in the infield section, you know, the racing, you know, if you're racing wheel to wheel, it's so easy just to get a bit of contact and get spun out. And
we're going to see a lot of penalties being applied, I think, in this race, because it's so easy just to put a wheel slightly wide when you're really pushing it. And I think we're also, I'm going to predict one safety car perhaps for this race. I think certainly all the races I've been watching this week, I've seen at least one, so it's quite action-packed, this track. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, as you mentioned, our penalties are key, especially if you get a late safety car. We saw in the Tier 2 race in 2SRL, a lot of guys profited massively off that. I think Larson and Tilda especially, P2, P3, and I think they were running like P10, around about P10 for most of the race. But that late safety car brought them back into it, and it was a frantic end to that race. So yeah, this race is a classic for a reason.
Danny and Coffee still not out on track. Danny, I can understand. You know, you mentioned the first fast challenge there, but in fact, no, neither of them I can understand that, because it is both of them that are pushing for third in this championship still. So
yeah, actually, both of them are now out on track, according to my information. I was just on board with Timo there. He went through turn 1, turn 2, and as is so easy to do, he invalidated. So he's going to have to trundle back to the pits and get a new set of soft tires put on. But yeah, Danny Co currently about to start his first lap here, I believe. Yep,
I think you might be right. Copy's just ahead of him, just up the road. He's put a time in now by the look of it. Yep, 1 minute 6.7. That puts him in provisional third.
Yeah,
Danny's got line as well. Let's put him into 8th with 1 minute 6.9.
Yeah, Danny Co is he switched over to a Fanatec wheel, and he's it takes a wee while to get used to, but I mean, he's on load cell brakes as well, which is quite a bit of difference from the normal style brake pedals you get, and it takes a long time to get used to, but I think he got them midweek, if not around about Wednesday, Thursday, so he's pretty much up to speed already here. P8 will 106.9, and he's probably he's just going to get better and better with those load cell brake pedals.
Yeah, I've certainly no experience with them at all, but yeah, it's the kind of thing that I've heard a lot about and read a lot into, and yeah, definitely something that'd be good to try out. Imagine it'll take a little while for him to get used to his new setup till he feels properly at home with it all again, especially if he's used to the kind of wheels and pedals he was running before.
Yeah, and Hugo is 106.3 now. He's at the top of the board here. He's 3/10 faster than anybody on this grid right now. But we have some idiot on a lap. He is currently up by 6 hundredths as he is making his way through the infield section here. You'll see as I ride on board with him, yeah, he's keeping it really tight to the apex, just trying to work that throttle pedal, get on the power as early as possible. But yeah, it's so easy to run wide on these apexes and lose a bunch of time here. And it's down to the final corner, and it's really critical to get, and he's got a purple sector 2 there, so has made some improvements as he makes his way up this really tight left-hander. It's basically a straight, but it does have a few kinks in it, and he's staying as close to the pit wall as possible, crosses the line and goes fastest, finds a bunch of time there in the mid section, and the end of the lap 106.3. so these guys, there's nothing to play for anymore in terms of the championship, but these guys are yeah, they're not letting off at all. They are going at it big time.
The whole field is so close together just now as well, as you'd expect from a tier 1 race, but yeah, it's good to see how close they all are to one another.
And Hugo, he's actually okay, right, that's decent. Obviously on my screen he just ran into the back of a car, but yeah, he's about to start his probably his final hot lap, and he will have seen that time go on the board from some idiot, and that's going to drive him forward here as he just using all the track possible there, and thought I might have got an invalidation there, but he's right on the edge of the limit of the track limits, and he is slightly down on his sector 1 time, and that's maybe put him off as he's cut the track on turn 4, invalidating his lap. So that, yeah, I was going to say maybe might have another chance at this, because I know the queue time that we're seeing of 220 seconds there isn't what the drivers will be seeing. They will have an additional, I think it's around about 40 seconds. And,
yeah, you get an extra few seconds to cross. I just see Timo's just retired there.
Yeah, he currently P10. That's unusual. He would have time for another run. Maybe he's run out of stuff here.
Has he crashed? Because I think he's crashed. Yeah, he stopped. He stopped on track.
Oh, so you're right. You're right. Yeah.
I think he spun it and maybe just tapped the wall a little too hard there.
Yep. And it's like I was saying, you're trying to get on the par as quickly as possible, but it will have consequences if you're a wee bit too greedy with that. And I'm currently watching Legend here. He's on a pretty fast lap. He's matching his first and second sector. He is 500s down as he looks like he might. Yeah, he's going to go for it. And I wonder if he's made up any time in that final sector. 106. Oh, he improved slightly, but it's not enough to make up any position. Oh, actually, did he jump from? Yeah, he jumped copy there.
Fifth to fourth there. Yep.
Happy days for a Legend. Yeah, so P4. He won't have time for another run. So this is it. Neon Race as well retired from the session. I think that might have been in the pits.
Copy will have a chance to try and take that 4th spot back from Legend, or better, I would assume he'll be hoping for. He's currently on an out lap, so he will have enough time to put another hot lap in.
Hugo as well. I think he's on an. No, actually, he's on an in lap. I think is he. Yeah, I think he's on an in lap. Is he going to go for another run on these soft tires? I wonder. This will mean he'd be out on 3-lap old softs here. Yeah, he's going to go for another run, and it's the Alpha Boys are. Yeah, they're running pretty tight together. Danny Co and Hugo. I wonder if Hugo's going to give Danny just a wee bit of slipstream here as well.
I think Danny's slowed right down now and pulled off to the side. So I think, I think he was
okay.
offering some slipstream to Hugo, perhaps.
Yes, I
Across
think
the,
you're right. But also Hugo backing out of this completely, so he's decided it's over for him. So who else have we got on lap? Yeah, Copy is marginally up, 9/1000ths up in his time. Trying to keep an eye on this top 10, see if there's any changes. We do have a number of guys out on the run, and Copy's back in, just getting a bit looser, and I might have cost him a bit of time in the midfield section. Let's see as he approaches the final corner. And he is massively up on his, or sorry, massively down on this time, so we'll back out of this one. He will not be able to make up that time in this final run. It's pretty much a straight sector free.
if he'll be resigning himself to 6th position now, then that'll
Yeah.
be the end of qualifying for today.
Yeah, Alex Burbo as well, down on his time. Cubson invalidated on his run. Jesse is currently in the pits doing stuff, some shenanigans. I think Tipsy Bob is the only guy out here. He's P15 currently. He's almost 5/10 up on his time. He's coming up against Danny Cook behind. I wonder if Danny Cook's going to give him a wee bit of a tow here as he's heading down to the finish line. And he will benefit from that a little bit. Let's see what Tipsy Bob can do. He puts himself P12. So makes up a few positions there, which will help out in the race. And I think, you know, any of these guys starting outside of the top 10, probably going to go for a medium soft strategy.
Yeah, we've seen that in some of the previous races as well. The sort of front runners tend to go for the. Oh, they're obviously locked to the softs that they finished the qualifying on, but the guys outside the top 10, quite a few people will jump onto the medium tyres.
Timo in chat saying, I can't drive at all, I'm too used to skippies. And he's saying as well, definitely going for mediums, unless it rains.
That's a good point. We haven't had a weather report yet for this.
I think that indicates that it will be a dry race, but bit of uncertainty there. So could see a bit of rain at the end possibly, but I'm thinking from that it's probably going to be a dry one.
Yep.
So there we go. Some idiot just about pipping Hugo to the line. Somebody had the driver champion for this season already in the bag, so this one's just for kicks. Hugo showing that he was pretty much representative of the championship as a whole, always nipping away at his heels, but currently in P2. And Terror on the pad with a solid time there, P3 at 106.6, Danny Co P4, and I think is it Legend P5? With Copy P6. Okay, I just saw. Okay, it's raining.
Wow. Okay, so wet race. This will
Oh,
change things.
Timo, I see what you did there. Definitely going for mediums unless it rains. Surely he would have known it was raining. Surely he would have known. Okay, so it is going to be a wet one here, but I wonder if it's going to go dry at some point.
Yeah, we've seen that as well in the. In fact, I think it was the Tier 3 race where we saw some variable weather. It was actually the opposite way around. We started dry, finished in wet, but yeah, it could just as well go the other way around. So looking forward to seeing how this runs.
Yeah, personally, I like a race with changeable weather. I don't like full wets. I do like full dries, but dry to wet or wet to dry, I do like that kind of, because you really get to see how people deal with that crossover, and you know you can get an advantage if you pit at the exact right moment.
That's it. Yep.
But yeah, for now it's wet and it doesn't look like heavy rain, so we're on enters. Everybody will be running enters here, I imagine. Yep, that is the case. So we see the rain, and it's so difficult to pass under wet conditions. You don't have that DRS available to you. You do have overtake, of course, and you can play about with the fuel mixtures, but I think generally speaking, if it's a wet race, a lot of these guys will probably start off with you know, under fuel cars, or
Yeah, I'd imagine. So try and eke it out. Well, eke out the first stint anyway, and just kind of gauge where the race is going from there.
yeah, the first lap will be really a kind of testing lap for all the drivers as they just find out what the level of grip is on this track. Especially, you've got this infield section, as we keep mentioning, it's high, like a very heavy traction zone. heavy braking zones throughout, so that can be quite tricky in the rain. But then Sector 1, Sector 3 have these fast sections, so let's just see how these guys do. One thing you don't want to do is leave overtake on for that Sector 2, or you will die.
Sorry, cut you up there, but it looks like Neon, I think, has had a spin somewhere towards the back. Some sort there. It looked a bit strange when I seen that on the minimap there. There's a bit of overtaking going on. Possibly a couple of drivers at the back slightly out of position as we line up here. Going to be waiting a long time actually. There's quite a spaced out formation lap I think this time.
Yeah, see Neon right at the back there, just making his way to the grid. Finds his grid spot and slots in there, and we should be lights out and away we go in a few moments time.
Yep, that looks like it. Everybody's in their slots now. I can't actually see the lights on this, so we'll see how this goes. Away we go. Idiot's still in the front there. Looks like he's got a really good start. A slight bit of desync, so I'll apologise in advance for that. We've got the Alfa Romeo just coming up behind that, and we've got Terra going around the outside there, trying to, and he makes it stick. He makes it stick. He's coming off of the third corner now, pulling away nicely. And we've also got some idiot there. Was that some idiot? No, it's Legend, I think. Was dropping slightly back there, or coming. Where is he now? No, he's come through. He's made it through there. Like I say, a little bit of desync here, so the kind of timing screens are all over the place.
And Terra makes a mistake there. I was going to say Terra made a really good getaway at the start there, but he makes a bit of a mistake. Came under a bit of pressure now, but now because of that mistake, it backed Hugo up, and Legend is running Hugo wide, and Hugo touching the grass there. Just about saving that, and it was a bit of a hairy moment there for Hugo. He's coming under all forms of attack here.
Yellow flag, we've got a yellow flag there. There's a Haas in a bit of trouble at the back. It looks like Jesse, I think, possibly had a bit of a spin there.
Jesse having a moment, but again, I'm going back to Hugo here because he is under attack still from Copy now. Alex Burbo made his way past. Hugo dropping down this field. He has not had a great start here today, and we often see this with Hugo. He often has a bit of bad luck at the start of races, and then he has it all cut out for him during the rest of the race. So I think he's starting to settle down here a wee bit. He's got himself a little bit of space between himself and Copy now, as somebody crosses the line in P1. Yeah, Terra got a really good start there, but I think it was a combination of Terra got a good start and Hugo got a kind of not so good start.
Yeah, it was strange. One kind of went forwards and the other went backwards a little bit there. I think the desync situation seems to have sorted itself out a little bit, although my timings are still a bit all over the place.
Yeah, same here.
As well.
Danny Co up to P4. I'm not saying how many positions he's made up there, but pretty sure that's quite a lot of positions from Danny Co. I think he was like P7 or so, P6, P7.
Yeah, again, unless I think the timing screens are still a bit all over the place, but for me, it's showing that he started where he is currently, but I don't think he was.
Oh, sorry, and it's Copy and Hugo once again battling, and they were going side by side there, and it was just a little bit of wheel contact, unsettled Hugo's car and allowed Copy to get alongside, but Hugo getting that position back.
That puts Copy under pressure now from Richard Grunwald, who's just coming up behind him now. Very, very close to the back of Copy on the back straight here, so he'll get a bit of a slipstream.
Yeah, I've definitely got desync. I think Richard Grunwald's not showing properly. He's P13 on my screen, and I'm seeing Cubson behind Copy. So I wonder if he's kind of invisible on the stream here.
So for me, it depends where he is, but for me, Richard is currently going around the outside of Copy. Still side by around the last corner, 3 wide on my screen as they come out there, and he does have to back out a bit by the look of he's gone wide. There's a Ferrari in the back there, it's a bit all over the place. I think that's Timo that got it a little bit wrong coming out of the first chicane there, and he's losing positions as a result. And
Copy as well, it's showing Copy is P10 here. He went wide there after turn 2, so just to try to make sense, I didn't see Richard Grunwald, but I did see a bit of a squiggle there from Copy as he came out of turn 2, and I think that must have been Richard Grunwald.
That's right, yeah. You had Timo. Oh, we've got a yellow flag there as Jesse retires from the session. Now, on the first corner there, I think we had Richard Grunwald was on the inside of, I believe it was Timo and Copy there, so 3 wide coming out the last of the first set of corners there. And yeah, Timo just a little wiggle on the outside there, which cost him quite a few positions.
Yeah, and during all that pandemonium, Terror is down to P3, so Legend has got past him somewhere on this lap. So it's currently a 1-2. I was about to say Force India. Racing Point. And yeah, I'm getting massive desync issues, so I apologize for that. There is a lot of confusion here on my stream because Richard Grunswald is now showing P1.
So just to check we're on the same page, I've got Some Idiot in first, Legend is second, Terra currently running in third, Danico is in fourth, Alex Burbo fifth, Hugo's is in sixth, Cubs in seventh, Richard Grunswald is in eighth, Tipsy Bob in ninth, Copy 10th, Timo in 11th, Pixel is 12th, Fox is 13th, Neon Rays is 14th, and of course Jesse has just retired, he's in 15th.
Yeah, that's correct for me, but P8 for me is Tipsy Bob's, Richard Grunswald P12, so I'm just not seeing Richard Grunswald on my screen, so you just keep us in the know about that.
I'll do my best.
But yeah, Copy losing out there in these first few laps, Copy and Timo as well having an issue. Terror dropping down a position to Legend after that great start, but Danico, let me see if I can check again how many positions he made up from the start. It's not telling me, so it's kind of saying that Danico started P4, which I don't think was the case.
Yeah, I don't seem to remember him starting that high either, so I'm not sure exactly what that's all about.
Alex Burbo and Danico are running pretty tight here as they go for the Senna S's, and they're pretty hairy with dry conditions, with wet conditions a lot hairier.
Yes, I bet. I mean, luckily I didn't have to race in the wet conditions here for my race in the middle of the week, but yeah, it's definitely going to spice things up.
The wrist settling down a little bit now, so I think one thing we mentioned at the start stream is these track penalties, and so far no penalties coming up on screen, which is kind of surprising to me. But maybe because of these wet conditions, people are just being that little bit more careful. It's really when you start battling with people, you kind of lose your focus. You're running some weird lines sometimes when you're running side by side or trying to defend. But so far so good. No track penalties at this time, and I saw Formula Chris in chat did say that it will be raining for the whole race.
Okay, so we've got a wet race to the very end then. Interesting then if we're going to see anybody trying to go for a no stop then. I know that's been done in the past at other tracks. I'm not sure if that's as viable on this track or not, but the option is there. Yeah,
we saw some idiot do that before and actually win a race due to that strategy. So yeah, I mean, it really depends how you are with tires. Some guys a lot more aggressive and kind of burn them up faster than others, but we'll see. And this track does look, I don't see rain at the minute on my screen, so I wonder, is it drying out a bit? Is it ever gonna dry to soft tire conditions?
Yeah, there's still a lot of spray on the track currently. There's no obvious dry line appearing just yet, but no, as you say, it doesn't look like there's anything actually falling right now.
Oh, I do like these kind of races where it's like the unknown. You know, you don't know what's going to happen. Even ourselves don't know what's going to happen. So yeah, it's all up in the air right now. I mean, it is looking pretty settled at the moment, but I think the closest battle we have on track is around about P9, P10. They're vying for that P8 spot. And
so we actually have, again, he's desynced for yourself, but yeah, Richard Grunswald is actually leading that train from the second half of the pack there, from 8th downwards. Tipsy Bob's behind him in 9th.
Okay.
So we've got quite a clear sort of split between the front half of the pack and the sort of back half of the pack. The second pack is the one that's being led by Richard Grunswald currently.
Yeah, and we have this little gaggle here forming. It's Hugo, Alex Burbo, Danico, and Terra as well. I think his Terra dropping off a little bit. He's 2.5 now behind Legend. So that indicates maybe his Terra's not favouring these wet weather conditions right now.
Yes, I think everyone's going to be second guessing one another at the minute, trying to predict what the guy in front of the guy behind is going to be doing in relation to their strategies, especially like we say, if we're going to start seeing the track drying up slightly now, that's going to change things quite a lot.
Jesse's the only retired car at the minute. He's actually in chat saying my car was undrivable in the wet, so these conditions are very difficult, it would seem. But as we were saying there, it does look like it's drying up a little bit. We're only seeing marginal spray from the car ahead as I'm riding aboard with Hugo here, and you can see visibility is quite good actually.
Looking further down the order here, we've got Timo and Coffee are both pushing behind Tipsy Bob there. There's the three of them are running together.
Oh, Hugo going for a run. He's got a run on Alex Burbo, and it looks like he's going to run outside for the Senna S's. Is he going to get this moved on? He does indeed. He actually gets passed by the first corner. No fight there from Alex Burbo, who must have backed out of that move there.
He does get a chance at redemption down this straight now, though.
Yeah, without DRS, so it's going to be quite tricky, and I think Alex Burbo was happy enough to run. Oh, DRS is enabled. This is it then. We are looking at dry weather conditions now, so I mean, I would be very surprised.
I don't know if you saw it there, but Alex Burbo came quite far off the track there. It looked like he was about to spin it and just about held it, but that's allowed Cubsland to move up one position.
Ooh, nice save then from Alex Burbo, but it does drop him down in position. And now we're going to see these guys pit. But the thing is, here we've got P1 and P2, and we often see this between Sim88 and Legend. The fact that they're pretty much on kind of similar pace, this is going to screw them over with this double stack. So one of them's probably going to have to stay out a lap longer, and that's going to compromise them a little bit.
Idiots in the pit. Some idiot pits.
Some idiot in the pits, and so does Legend. Legend decides not to stay out for that lap extra and just take the hit on this double stack. Terror in the pits as well. Danny Co is staying out. He's allowing Hugo then to pit without double stacking. So Danny Co is happy enough to take that hit on time. He is going to lose a bit of time here on these intos.
Yep, it looks like a bit of a combination of medium and soft here. So some people trying to get a longer stint out of this this part of the race, and other people maybe predicting a bit more rain, a little bit more spray later on and switching back. In fact, I see Copy's gone into hards now as well, so we've almost got every type of tyre on track right now.
Shake my head, isn't that the abbreviation? Shake my head. Danny Co then in the lead of this Grand Prix, but looking at Cubson, he's also in enters, but he's got somebody on P4 on mediums, and I tell you what, somebody not really. Oh, he is. He's making quite massive gains from some idiot here. Yeah, big time. Yeah. So this is compromising Cubson and Danny Co's race. But as you say, there are a whole range of tire strategies being played out here. Some guys going for medium, some for soft, some from hard. Of course, the guys from mediums, I think you can get to the end if it was to be dry from here on in.
Yeah, I think you might be right with that. It would be very tight, but yeah, I think it's certainly doable. I mean, the guys that would, in a normal dry race, if you were to start on softs, I think you'd be trying to get to around laps 15, 16 before swapping to mediums. So you're about, yeah, you should be doable. Having said that, though, with the prediction of a full wet race, or rather with the weather report of a full wet race, I fully expect to rain later on.
Oh, and there was a bit of a battle there. Terror, I think he got passed by Legend there. Terror struggling on this.
Richard Gronwald is going backwards off the very first set of corners there. He's gone backwards, clean off the straight.
Oh my word.
He sets the track there. He's ghosted. There's a yellow flag right now.
So it's all kicking off here, yeah. And I think Terror got passed by Hugo and Legend. And Hugo, yeah, getting a massive tank slapper on him. But is right behind Legend. So this changing condition has really played into Hugo's hands, as he's now P3 on these soft tires, and he's putting a lot of pressure on Legend right now.
There's Eddie in chat there says that mediums can go to the end easily, so provided there's no more rain, yeah, these guys look like they're going to play the long game.
So that's interesting. Why would you go on soft tires? Why would you do that? I mean, maybe it's because the championship's over and Hugo just fancies being on these faster tires. As he looks like he's going to put a move on Legend, he goes up in the inside, and these go through too wide almost. Yeah, Legend actually backing out of that. Happy enough to let Hugo pass on these faster tire combos. 7.5 seconds between P2 and P1. But Hugo with the advantage right now on these softer tire compounds.
Alex Burbo really closing up on Terra now as well on those fresh soft tyres now. still right with him as well, going through the sort of second sector of the track.
Yeah, and this is where we're going to start seeing a lot of penalties coming in, I think, here, as people start pushing the limits. And you've already got Fox on 3 seconds, Neon Race 5-second penalty, and just as I say that, Richard Runswell 3-second time penalty. Is Richard currently P14 then? Is that right?
No, he's currently running in 12th, so I think he
Okay.
managed to get himself going again before Fox and Neon got back around.
Okay, and Alex Burbo looks like he's gonna, yeah, he has a run on Terror, and it looks like he's gonna get this moved on pretty easy. Terror probably, yeah, I would imagine Terror's just happy enough to let him pass here at this point of the race. He's just racing his own race. Alex Burbo, of course, on the soft tire compound. So Terror now can, yeah, he can kind of like feed off his DRS for a while.
That's it. He'll just be trying to keep pace now and try and take his tires, make his tires last as long as possible. I think he'll be knowing that Alex Burbo will likely have to pit again for the end of the race. There's another close battle coming up further down the order. We've got Pixel in P11 is right behind Copy, who's in P10 currently. Copy's on the hard tires right now, and of course Pixel's just come out on softs.
Yeah, my timing board is all over the show right now. It just keeps blinking and re-updating the information here. But yeah, it looks like the closest battle on track right now is for P10, Copy and Pixel.
So something just puts in another fastest lap of the race.
Yeah, he's just banging them in at the front there. Yeah, oh, and Hugo actually going faster there. So he's on the softer tire compound and going a little bit faster. He has got this time interval down from, I think it was 7.5 to 6.4. So he is closing in, but is it enough? He will have to do another soft tire run at the final stint of this race, where some idiot, he's able to stay out probably to the end of the race, I'd imagine. He's very good on tires, is some idiot. Very good at managing his tires.
Yep. We see Alex Burbo's thinking about coming down the inside, but no, backs out of it right at the very last minute there in his fight with Copy, so that fight will continue around for another lap. Interesting to see that Pixel is struggling to get past Copy so much that you would have thought that the tyre difference would have been in his favour there. As Neon picks up another penalty.
8 seconds in the bag then, that will cost him big time, yeah. I mean, if there's a safety car, yeah, the time penalties really sting, really leave a bad taste in the mouth. P2, Hugo, another fastest lap, gap down to 5.9 to P1. So he's closing, but I wonder, is he closing enough here? Because, yeah, these tires are 4 laps old now. I reckon around about lap 10 is when they start falling off the cliff.
Yeah. I'm seeing that Danico is getting very close to Terra now as well. Very, very close, in fact. I think we might see the bumper to bumper coming around the second section of the track here.
Yeah, he's almost
And
pushing him
got
through.
yellow flag in the first sector. That's after turn 4.
I think that's
look,
Copy.
That's
Yeah,
Copy.
that's Copy, yeah.
Can't see if he has any damage at the minute. I don't think he has. I think he might have escaped that just. So I don't think he hit the wall. Looks like he possibly just spun.
Yeah, I wonder if he had a bit of a ding-dong there with Pixel. They were running pretty close there at the back, but yeah, Copy, this is not good for him at all. It puts him pretty far down the field. He's pretty much 12-13 seconds off P10 right now. A lot of guys ahead of him do have to pit still, so he may pick up some points yet in this race.
As we see, Danny is closing once again on the back of Tyre in the second DRS zone. Will he go for it? He pulls to the inside, and he goes for it. He's through. That actually looked surprisingly easy after all that. It looked like Tyre just kind of conceded that position. It was like, okay, on you go. I'll get you back later on.
Yeah, I think Terror is really just managing his tires right now. He's on the pad. Oh, and Copy 5-second speeding penalty, and following that, tires.
Got Neon Rays has spun there as well. Sorry to interrupt them. Neon Rays has spun just at the penultimate sort of main corner, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, he's not having a good day today for sure. But yeah, Terror, like I say, he's probably just managing the tires. He's on the pad. Pad tire wear is notoriously bad at this track. So he's going to be hanging on for dear life to the back of Danico and using up that DRS.
I'm not sure if I'm seeing this right, but I think Copy's retired car has come back out the pit lane and is currently making its way down towards turn 4 in the yellow flag section.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's kind of random whether the game kind of takes once you retire in the pits, whether it takes the car out. Usually it disappears after a while though. We're about to see it. Yeah,
Oh no, he's off the track. I was going to say, I wonder if we'll see a safety car then as a result of that.
yeah, it's showing yellow flag sector 1, sector 2, but no safety car, thankfully.
Got the same issue again now as well as Neon Rays' DNF car.
Yeah, keep an eye on that because it could well instigate a safety car. The game that keeps giving. Codemasters, thank you for that. Again,
Just, off to the side, looks like there's no drama there, so thankfully no negative input on the rest of the race.
yeah, so the race settling down a good bit. Really what we're looking at right now is this battle for P1. We've got Hugo can see some idiot up ahead there. Actually, is it?
Terra's now catching Danny again. He's just coming around the first set of corners. He's just about to enter the second DRS zone. And it looked like he was really closing the gap there.
I think he's happy enough though to sit behind Danny. He's really just wanting to stay within this ERS range, anywhere between 1 second and below. And yeah, it means he can kind of sit and harvest this overtake, and it really pays dividends towards the end of the race. And I'm seeing Danico run wide there in that double right-hander on the exit. So is Danico, I wonder if he's any warnings, because that will be another thing that plays into Terror's hand. Anyone ahead of him getting penalties is going to be absolutely, he's going to be loving it.
As we see, the sun is now starting to break through the clouds, so I wonder if we're going to have a dry race for the rest of the race now.
Neon Rise in chat saying, I think maybe get used to no braking line before I try T1 again. So yeah, that's probably a good idea, because these guys are high level, very skilled, accomplished drivers, and yeah, I wouldn't enter this here without practicing the no assist aspect, because it is absolutely key.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's been a tricky transition if you've been using assists for the majority of your racing career, let's say in the league, to then have to turn those off as you transition into tier 1. It can't be easy.
And this is the part of a race that really can, break your will, because if you look at these guys at the back end of the grid, they're all probably thinking, what's the point, like I'm just, I'm not really making any gains.
Yellow flag. Sorry to cut you up. Yellow flag in sector 2 there.
Yeah, is that I see it's a Ferrari, but which Ferrari is it? Oh, it's Timo. Oh, Timo's in full Skip Barber mode here. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Skip Barber with him at Long Beach, and yeah, it is quite the difference. You get a lot more feedback from the car in iRacing, whereas when you go back to the F1 car, it feels like a hovercraft.
Oh no, and he's got front wing damage as well. That's really unfortunate for him.
Yeah, I think he's gonna probably park it up here, maybe, or yeah, we're gonna see him pull into the pits here probably. Name race, left section. Yeah, he retired a while back, but yeah, Timo, is he gonna retire the car? That's the big question right now. Don't do it, Timo. Don't do it.
Just looking further down now, I'm going to assume you can't see this, but Richard Grunwald, currently running in 10th position, is just half a second off the back of Pixel, who's running in 9th. And closing, by the look of it.
Yeah, a lot of big gaps forming here, but the one that's kind of getting smaller and smaller as this one from P1 to P2, but I don't think, yeah, Hugo's on these 10 lap tires, and that's not good. That's not good. He's not going to make big gains here from this point onwards, as he's going to start thinking about his second stint on softs.
Yes, I'd imagine his tyres will start feeling quite rough around about now.
Yeah, he's starting to lose a bit of time as well to some idiots, so yeah, it's going to be a tough ask here. He's really looking at a safety car to bring him back into this race. And I just want to point out, Bojan Dukic says in chat, Isto kad Crescete za Cerberju. I think I got that absolutely spot on there, that pronunciation.
Yes, that's correct. That is exactly it.
I had no idea what that means. Hopefully nothing offensive, but thanks for that.
Richard Grunwald was he still is quite close to Pixel. In fact, he did run very wide after turn 4 there, so turn 4, turn 5, but he's right behind Pixel now, really hassling him quite a bit.
Yes, Richard Grunwald is driving the invisible car right now. He is somewhere behind Pixel, but of course we cannot see that. But thankfully we've got boosted mess here. You can see invisible cars, so yeah.
He's right behind him now. He's two tenths off him with DRS and just coming down the back straight now. He's going for it. He's down the inside and looks like he's gonna make this easy. Yes, he is. Yep, and he's passed. That's Richard Grunwald's up to position 9 now as Pixel drops down to 10th. Well, Pixel's not letting him go though. They're side by side now through the first chicane, and he's got him back again just before the second DRS zone. Still side by side. They're touching. They're bumping. They're rubbing tyres all the way down. Richard Grunwald is in the grass. He's gone through the polystyrene boards there. Somehow makes it stick. I wonder if we're going to see a bit of incident reporting going on after that, because they were literally rubbing tyres the whole length of that straight.
I'm going to trust your word on that, because to me there's nothing happening. It's just Pixel driving his own race here. Oh, Hugo gets a penalty. He's in the pits and he's got a 5-second speeding penalty. That's game over for Hugo. That is game over for Hugo.
That's such a frustrating mistake to make as well. I mean, I don't want to say it's an easy track to gauge your brake point into the pit lane, but it's certainly one of the more simpler entrances. So.
Yeah, I think he was really pushing the limits there, and he's obviously just went slightly over there as he crossed the pit entry line, and yeah, that's handed somebody the win of this race, as he's currently 8.8 seconds ahead of P2. Richard Grunwald has retired from the race on my screen. Can you confirm, Boosted Miss?
He has indeed. He just put it into the pit there and parked it. I'm not actually entirely sure why, because he was still running in a position. You know, he wasn't at the back of the field, so yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. Possible, mind you, possible rage quit. Would we get that in tier 1?
Maybe. There are some guys that are susceptible.
A hell of a lot of bumping down that back straight, and I'm sorry to say, but it did look to me like he was pushed quite wide off the track there by Pixel.
So Terror remains on the back of Danico. He's just
picked up a penalty now, 3-second penalty.
I wonder, is that... Yeah, I mean, he's pretty safe in this P2 because he does have Alex Burbo behind, but Alex still has to pit. So really, the threat from behind is Danico. So can Danico pick up the pace a little bit? And
Danny ran very wide there. I don't know if you saw that. That's, Terror's closed right up on him again now as a result.
And you can see that, you know, the strategy here. Like Danico has 30% ERS, whereas Terror, who's just milking this DRS, is on 78% ERS. Why did that have to have those so similar? You know what I mean?
Deliberately.
I'm just going to use overtake from now on instead of ERS. Legends in the pits. Legend in the pit, P2.
Danny pits as well. He's coming in the pit.
Okay, so these medium runners, yeah, they're thinking, no, I've had enough of this.
Alex Burgo's putting on another set of softs, so Is he going to try and get? Yeah, he should be able to get these to the end of the race now, wouldn't he?
Yeah, definitely. 14 laps easy, so 12 laps left in this one. So, yep, that's it. Yeah, we've seen this from Legend before. He doesn't really like these harder tire compounds, and he did get that time penalty. Oh, Tipsy Bob with a pretty rare penalty from him, 3 seconds. So again, that's what we were saying at the start of the race. These time penalties will cost you massively as you cross the line at the end of the race, especially if there is a late safety car, which at the minute I can't see one happening, as Hugo is sending up the inside of Cubson.
Not making it very easy for him. He's still holding him out around the outside of the corner there, but I think momentum, yes he does, he makes it stick.
Yeah, but Cubson is going to get overtake on this final straight. And I've got
he's about to come back out on a fresh set of softs.
Yeah, he would have saw everybody else pit and went, what the hell? There's no point staying out in the old mediums for no reason. I'll be having some of that. Cubson as well in the pits, so that fight with Hugo was pretty unnecessary, really.
So they're both out on softs now as well. So yeah, we're starting to see everybody switching to softs now for a last minute sprint to the finish line.
But get this, Hugo is 1.4 behind some idiot. How did that happen?
Yeah, that's just livened things up a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I wonder if he can close that gap now then. I mean, he's on slightly older tyres, but 2 laps should be relatively negligible, I would have thought.
Yeah, some idiot had at least 5-second gap there before this round of pit stops, but Hugo now 1.6 behind, so I'm not sure what happened there, if somebody had an issue somewhere.
He is carrying that time penalty as well, so he has got it all cut out if he wants to try and take the wing away there from the win, from some idiot.
Yeah, so P1 to P7 on relatively fresh tires. Hugo the only one on he's had 2 laps on these tires, but he will be able to get them to the end with no issues, I would imagine. And Tipsy Bob's still the pits, he stays out on those mediums. Currently P8, but with a time penalty in hand as well.
Yeah, he's losing a lot of time to Cubson though, surely he needs to pit on this lap. And he doesn't, he stays out. Okay. Interesting strategy there, so yeah. I would have thought he'd have been losing too much time to make it worth staying out on the mediums right now.
Oh, and Terror picks up a time penalty there. That means that, yeah, that's going to hurt him, as he was running pretty tight behind Danico, but Danico and Alex Burbo on P4, no time penalties, so that's a 3-second deficit as he crosses the line, and that's going to be pretty tough on Terror's finishing position, I would imagine. But everyone behind him has a time penalty, which is a good thing, but everyone but 3 ahead of him do not have a time penalty.
Yeah, so the race seems to have settled down a little bit now. Got a little bit of bunching going up at who have we got there? We've got Danico and Terra still with each other. They've been with each other the entire race just about.
Yeah, Alex Burbo as well now in this train of cars, mini train of 3 cars.
Slowly catching him up now. So you got Danico and Terra will both be getting DRS from Alex Burbo, so this is going to get quite close quite quickly now. He's going to have his work cut out trying to defend, especially if he ends up having to lose a position to one of them, trying to then get in a position to defend from the second guy. It's just a lot more awkward.
Somebody just stretching his legs as well out in front. He's increased that gap from 1.5 to 3.2 in pretty quick time over the last lap or 2. And Timo as well, like Timo is currently in P11, he's 12.6 off these guys. He is on medium tires, but he has no time penalty, so he might be in with a shot at some points, maybe, depending on how the rest of this race pans out.
Yeah, he's done actually very well to recover from that spin and get back to it. I mean, I know he's still 13 seconds down on Fox, but looks like he's managing to close the gap possibly there. I say that just as the gap starts to increase, but he was looking like a very good position for a while earlier on.
Yeah, anything can happen in a race, as you well know. It could be a late safety car, and Timo with no time penalties. I mean, he could well finish in the top 5.
Alex Berber goes very defensive there. Danico's gone around the outside of him. He's passed, so yeah, he's made that move stick. Alex Berber under pressure from Terra now, or certainly will be soon.
And all three of these guys running very low ERS here, so they're all trying to maximize the pace in this car as we're heading into the final 8 laps of the race.
So back onto the back straight again here now, so we'll see Alex Berber and Terra with DRS on Danny. See if they can put that to some good use.
So the podium not decided just yet, as we have some idea with no time penalty. He's got P1 in the bag as it stands, but Hugo with that 5-second time penalty. Is Legend able to close up? Legend does have a 3-second time penalty though, so he will have to really get his pull his socks up here. But Danico and Alex Berbo, no time penalties. Yeah, I think they're just about. They're out of. Yeah, they're not looking too good here. But I mean, all it takes is one mistake, and you'll lose a bunch of time, and you drop down the order pretty quickly.
That's it. That's exactly it. Fox looks like he's currently closing on Pixel further down the order there. Not too much going on, but I think we might see a possible overtake there coming up. He just needs to hang on to the back of Pixel through this middle section of the track and prepare himself for the DRS on the back straight.
Locking up a little bit in the infield section is Fox there. He's obviously pushing this car pretty hard. He is pretty low in the ERS as well, but he is pretty tight on the back of Pixel, so we'll get DRS in this start-finish straight, and the next one if he can keep it pretty close.
Yeah, I don't think we'll get the move done on this occasion, but like you say, on the next DRS straight, it's possible that you could get it there if you can close the gap here now. And he has closed. Oh, we've got a yellow flag.
Sector 2. It's Legend, I think. Is it Legend or is it some idiot? I think it was a Force India.
That's really strange because it didn't look like particularly much had happened there, so maybe just somebody running wide perhaps.
Yeah, actually it might have been Hugo because Legend made up a bunch of time there. Fox with a time penalty, so that's not going to help his battle as he made his way past Pixel there. But
paid it for his pass there, 3-second time penalty, so...
Yeah, it's almost not worth it on this track, I find, is like, you know, to fight too hard because you do risk picking up a time penalty, and again, I keep going on about it, but it will cost you big time. It will, especially at this track. It's such a short lap. Oh, and Fox getting a big wiggle on, and that allows Pixel to close up massively, so Pixel in with a chance to get in this position back here as Fox is struggling right now. Pixel has a whole load of ERS.
Yeah, and he's more than close enough to make this pass now as well, and he goes for it down the inside. Oh, big lock up into the first set of corners though, but he does make the move stick.
Yeah, of course, Fox now with the one with DRS open, but he's run out of overtake. I think that's going to be crucial for Pixel to keep a hold of this position. Pixel running P9 currently. And funny enough, we were chatting to Pixel before the race, and I did say to him, no penalties, easy win. And he currently has one penalty to his name, but so do a lot of the guys ahead of him.
So the three that were further up, they're closing and ever closing as we count our way down towards the end of the race here. So quite a tight bunch there. So between Danico, Alex Burbo, and Terra. Terra is very close to the back of Alex Burbo.
And I think he's going to go for a move. He does. Oh, and it looked like he was going to go up the inside there, but not able to get. Yeah. I think, you know, to go for that move, you really need to be side by side, or you can't just stick your nose in the last second. So Terra, wise head prevails in that one.
Fox passes Pixel once more.
Oh, side by side for the S's, and yep, Fox getting that move done. So these guys are going at it, lap after lap.
Pixel now with the DRS trying to come back. He's not going to go for the pass at this point, so he'll just be hanging on until the start-finish straight again.
So I'm just looking at this top three. I'm trying to work out the podium. If Legend can get within 2 seconds of Hugo's, I think... Does that mean he'll take P2? Is my math right? It usually isn't.
Mine's not much better. Yeah, I think Legend, as it stands... Would he get P2? Come on, chat, help us out here.
Yeah, get the calculators out, guys. I'll bring mine next time, promise. And yeah, we're heading into the last few laps of the race. It has settled down massively, but still have this battle here for P4. Alex Burbo, Danny Koo, Terror. Lots of locking up of the brakes here as everybody's pushing as hard as they can here.
God, it's so close between those three. They've been fighting each other for like the last 5 or 6 laps now. It's been really good. Looks like Alex Burbo's going to go for it.
Yeah.
Is he? Yep, sends it down the inside.
Ooh,
Oh,
contact, massive contact, yeah.
Oh no.
And I think,
sort of happened.
yeah, I think that's just a racing incident. I mean, I think Alex Burbo just didn't keep a tight enough line there. He was running out quite wide, and Danny had to turn in, and that invited the contact, and that just, yeah, puts Alex Burbo down to P7. Looks like he probably will still get P5 at this rate because he is, well, actually no, he's quite far down in the order, quite a way back from Cubson. Or sorry, from Terror. So he probably will get P6 at this rate, but yeah, not great for Alex Burbo there.
Yeah, it's a bad time in the race for something like that to happen as well. He's not got very much time at all to try and make up any positions again. I think that's probably going to be it for him, unfortunately.
Oh, and look at this. Legend is indeed closing up, 2.6. So, like I would say, I think 2 seconds. He gets that gap to under 2 seconds, and he will get P2 here. So, Hugo is a lot to... and Hugo's on these old tires as well, so that's a disadvantage to Hugo. Is Legend going to nip and get us a 1-2 for a racing point?
It looks like he might be heading that. I'm staring at the times quite intently now. They are dropping.
Yeah, he's got 2 lap fresher tires. They are both Hugo's and Legends soft tires are quite old, but that extra 2 laps of freshness, I think that's going to cost, or it's going to help Legend get this. He's got 2.1 at this time, and we're on to, well, Summit 8 at least is on to the final lap of this race. Yep. I think that Summit 8 actually just, yeah, he just passed Timo there. He just lapped Timo.
So Legend's now sub 2 seconds. So assuming our math is correct, yeah, we're seeing. Oh, he's back up again. It's so tight. He really needs to try and hold it together on this lap.
Oh, and Terra gets past Danico, just where we're keeping an eye on that gap there. Terra does indeed get past Danico, but Danico does not have a time penalty, and he looks like Danico might get a run on him for this final DRS straight.
And he goes for it. He's on the outside. He's going for it. Oh, wow. Oh, they're still side by side. He runs very wide there. Terra's up the inside currently. A lot of respect between the two. They're giving each other plenty of space, which is good to see. They're still side by side coming round into the second sector.
Oh, Terra picks up a penalty because he ran out wide there because of that. And I think he had, you know, he had to roll a dice there. He had nothing to lose, apart from that 3-second time penalty, of course. But I mean, he's probably trying to force Danico into an error, and maybe Danico would have picked up a penalty. And yes, some idiot crosses the line with another dominant win in Tier 1. But who's going to get P2? Hugo across the line. It's 1.8 back to Legend. and Legend just needs to keep that time under 2 seconds, and yeah, Legend gets it. It's a racing point Force India / whatever you want to call it, 1-2.
Taro's going to lose 2 positions here, I think. I think Cobson's got enough to... Has he? No, it isn't, not quite. He picks up a penalty of his own, so...
And Alex Burbo jumps Cobson. P6 for Alex Burbo there. P7 Cobson then. And Tipsy, yeah, time penalty in bag in hand there, but he does get P8 for this one for his efforts. And
Pixel
I think
should pass Fox as well, I think.
there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so not the most eventful race, but pretty some really good racing going on there between some guys. Few incidents as well, but no safety car.
So Cobson picks up Codemasters drivers of the day.
Yeah, another solid performance from some idiot, really just commanding the race from start to finish. And the top 2 steps go to Racing Point, and I think Legend and some idiot they're a good team, I have to say. They are a good team. Sometimes it works against them that they are so high level, because obviously whenever if there's a safety car, there is that risk of double stacking. But today, yeah, I think Legend staying out that 1 lap extra when the DRS enabled message came up, that really just handed the victory to Summit then. And we've seen that in the past as well. Legend really playing the second driver role, but he is very, very competitive as Legend, and I'm sure we'll see him race to victory in future races and future seasons. We still do have Abu Dhabi as the last round of the season, but for now, yeah, some idiot has it in the bag. Another 25 points in the bag, further cements his championship run. He's already got that WTC in the bag, but Legend there P2, and I'm sure the Racing Point is Constructors Champion as well, without even having to look. Hugo P3 there. Not the best start from Hugo. Maybe we get a wee chat with him afterwards to find what happened. But Danico there, another solid drive, P4. Terror P5. Alex Burwell with that last stint incident with Danico down in P6, so damage limitation from him. P7 Cubson, and yeah, interesting enough race.
So I think in terms of the championship, that's unfortunately with Copy's retirement there pushes Danny further away into 3rd position. I'm not sure if he's got enough now to secure that or not, but yeah, that's certainly helped his charge.
And Dragon in chat is pointing out my error. He says Alpha is Constructor Championship or Champions. So yeah, I just I just assumed the race, that some idiot would win everything, including the constructors. But no, not the case. We should know that. But thanks, Dragon, for keeping me on my toes. And yeah, I think it's time to head over to the interviews. Let's see who we have available for us today. Yep, somebody up. We'll bring him in for the first interview. Somebody, hello, sir. How are you? And another solid race from you. I'm actually going to bring in Legend as well, somebody, because that was a pretty nice 1-2 from you guys today. Yeah, somebody, just talk us through your race. How was it?
I wasn't even planning on qualifying. I was actually thinking if we had a dry race, or at least a dry, like a dry race, I would have actually started last. But I didn't do any qualifying practice. I was doing race practice with the mediums. I did basically majority was medium on first stint fuel. But yeah, I got a good lap in quali. Was happy with it. The race, I just literally ran my dry setup. I didn't expect it to work in the rain like it did, to be honest. I had less rear wing than I would have liked. I had more aggressive camber than I would normally run in the wet, but it worked. And then just ran the stint out, and then I did the medium soft. I'm not sure if soft would have been quicker for me. I had only one set of fresh soft left in the pit, so I decided to do the medium soft, so I had better softs at the end. I don't know. That's like I was just trying to maintain what I had in the car. Would have liked maybe a little bit more on the medium, but that was textbook for me. That race just had to just play it out the way I could. Ran the strategy, outran it as long as I could before Hugo would get in DRS on the undercut, and just did what I needed to do, and that was good enough to win today, I think.
Good job, and yeah, Legend as well, P2, so a Racing Point 1-2. It's good to see both you guys on the top steps of the podium. Legend, how was your race? I mean, were you thinking at one point it was slipping away from you?
Yeah, I think like 10 laps to go, I got the penalty, and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna get the P2 anymore because I saw Hugo had the 5-second penalty. And then like 5 laps till the end, I started pushing like madman, and it eventually paid off. P2 like 1/10 between me and Hugo. And yeah, also the pit stops were really shit for me. We double stacked, so I lost like 3 seconds maybe, and it didn't help me out. But in the end, 1-4 Racing Point, finally my first podium here, and yeah, I'm really happy.
Yeah, great result. Yeah, no, I think I kind of counted you out of that P2 as well, but then I noticed that gap and I was like, Hugo has 5 seconds and you have 3 seconds, so doing the math, 5 minus 3 is 2, and we were questioning our math a lot. But we're like, if you get within 2 seconds, which it looks like you might be able to do, you get that P2, and you did it. I mean, like you say, you must have been pushing like crazy on those last few laps there. But yeah, you just got it, and just about no more. So I'm sure it was a pretty sweaty one from yourself then.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I need to have a break, 1-2 days, maybe rest and sleep. Oh.
You deserve it after that one, and yeah, both you guys, are you looking forward to the next race, the final one of the season, Abu Dhabi?
Well, let's just say we don't have to expect any rain, so I hopefully can do the the first challenge. I got something up my sleeve that I'm really looking forward to using for Abu Dhabi, so that ought to be fun. And then yeah, like good job from Legend for P2 today. That was
Thanks.
all
Good
we
job,
can ask
yourself.
for on that regard. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think Alpha took the constructors though. Unfortunately, I think it was a bridge too far though.
Yeah, maybe if I could have, but won. But it's okay, no problem. P2.
You did your best. Like we were in a hole to start with. You just helped us get a little closer, so thank you.
Yeah, no problem, mate.
Yeah, good job,
Yeah,
guys.
it's funny how you're saying about yeah, hopefully, well, no doubt there'll be a dry race in Abu Dhabi. Not that it's really going to bother you that much if you were pulling a gap like the way you were in this race on a dry setup. I mean, that's quite impressive.
I was shocked the car did that because I had not tested it in the wet, and then it gelled with what I had. It gelled with the conditions. I was shocked. Makes me have to go back to the drawing board on wet setups actually, because like a lot of things that I think of to use now, I kind of have a bit more window to play with.
Yeah, there's a few more transferable setups there then potentially between wet and dry.
Exactly.
Okay, guys. Well, thanks for taking your time to join us in the commentary booth. I'm sure we'll be speaking to you pretty soon. Once again, you guys are always regular features in the commentary booth.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's a pleasure being here.
Yeah.
Being here.
Yeah. So we'll no doubt speak to you guys next week. Until then, take it easy and goodbye.
Yep. Thank you guys for having us.
Bye.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye. Alrighty. Okay, so let's see. So we had P1 and P2 there. Let's bring in Hugo. I want to find out what happened on that first lap. Hello, Hugo. P3 today. Tough race. You were P2 at the start of the race, but fell down the order pretty quickly. What happened there? Was it just not the best of starts from yourself, or?
The first few laps, I just couldn't find much grip, so I dropped far down.
Yeah, I actually checked. You know, I went on board with you in the first couple of laps, and I was like, "Have you got that Sub-Zero bug again?" Because I could see you struggling. It looked like for tire temps, yeah. So yeah, that's just it. Just wasn't able to find the grip now. But yeah, you did pretty well. You got yourself back into the running again. Got a podium at the end of it. it always seems to be the way. Well, I mean, you know, in recent races anyway, where you have some issue at the start, and then it's still like kind of trying to get that back for the rest of the race.
Yeah, I mean, I should have got P2, but I made a mistake on one of the laps and I lost 3 seconds. So.
Yeah, it's been a tough season, but I mean you're up against some idiot and a lot of very very fast guys, and you're definitely one of the best in this tier, if not. Uh, and you actually messaged me before the race to say constructors today, if yeah, you know, unless you both DNF and Racing Point get a 1-2. Now Racing Point did get a 1-2, but thankfully didn't DNF. So yeah, constructors in the bag then. So how you feel about that one?
That feels good. Feels good. At least we accomplished something this season. So.
Abu Dhabi's next. Now somebody had said he's going to start from the back. Is this something you plan on joining him in?
Sure, why not? I mean, he said today he would do it unless it rains, and I said I would join him, and then it rained, so we qualified.
Yeah. What happens though is that every driver in Tier 1 says, right, I'm starting from the back. That'll be a mind melt.
Then we have a lot of time to fill during the qualifying session. That's what happens.
Okay, Hugo. Well, here, congrats on the constructors, mate, and solid season from you. Really great, really good stuff.
Thank you.
All the best. Let's see. So P4 then was Danny. I know he's not really usually keen on these interviews, but I'm going to drag him in, even so, against his will. Danny Co, how are you doing, sir? You alright?
Alright.
Listen, we're bringing you in. You got P4 today. Now, I was saying on stream, you got those new pedals, as well as the new wheel, and it took me a long time to get used to them. Obviously, I'm an old guy, so it takes me about 12 times longer than you young boys. But yeah, I mean, P4, solid result for me today, and it wasn't easy. It looks like as well on track, no penalties as well. So yeah, how'd you feel about that yourself?
I mean, I've adapted quick, yes, but the top level pace is still not there, so it will come.
Yeah,
And that's what I'm waiting for.
yeah, 100%. How you find those pedals anyway? You starting to get a feel for them and dial in? Yeah, they're nice, aren't they?
They are very nice.
Yeah,
Just make me want to drive a bit more. Not gonna lie.
that's good. That's not good for everybody else in Tier 1, but you're just gonna get faster and faster. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I mean,
the plan. That's the plan.
yeah, and we're at the end of the season then, so it's reset time, and yeah, we all start from 0 points again. So I'm sure you're looking forward to that, the chance to fight it out for the championship.
Yes.
I'll just jump in there if I can. I noticed that during the race, Danny, you and Cubson, I think, were the only two to extend the intermediate stint by 1 lap. Was that an intentional decision, or was that just to avoid double stacking?
I said to Hugo to go in and I'll stay out because he had the better pace.
Yeah, it's quite. I thought it was quite impressive how you managed such a high finish position despite doing that, because we were noticing at times where they were taking a bit of a hit after you were extended out that 1 lap. So no, it was great to see you pushing back your way up to the top.
I can't remember if I was behind Copy already before the not Copy, Terror before the pit stops, but I came out behind him and I was like, if we can just catch up to them before the pit stops again, I'll be good. I'll be sorted. And I was. So it ended well.
Yeah, it was a really, really solid drive, and especially like what Chief was saying there, new pedals, new wheel. It's imagine it takes a bit of getting used to.
It is.
Yeah,
I'm scared to try iRacing.
not to put you on the spot, Puss and Mess, but I'm thinking driver of the day for this man here. Yeah.
Oh, God's sake.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, so enjoy the gammon later, Danny boy.
Oh, I will.
You know. Okay, right. Well, I'll move you back into general chat. Thanks for joining us in the commentary booth. Good job today. And bye.
Cheers.
Right, and we've got Terror in here, so I'm going to bring Terror in. What a solid qualifying performance from you, sir. You just...
Yeah,
what
thank
was
you.
it? 106.6. I believe.
It was a 6.6. Yeah, it was 6.61, I believe, which is a very good lap. I was very happy with that. I think in general, I mean, the race didn't quite go as well. I made a bad strategy call and got some penalties, but like given that, I thought I drove pretty well. Had maybe the best fight that I've had. Oh man, the best fight that I've had in sort of recent memory with Danny at the end of the last lap. That was fantastic. Even though it wasn't actually for position. Just yeah, thoroughly enjoyed myself. It felt really good to be on pace.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously the quality pace was actually, right up there with the best of them, like some idiot and Hugo. Must have felt good. But in the race, then, how was the pace during the race?
Yeah, the pace during the race was fine. I was managing. I got caught between two. I got caught between two sort of mindsets when it dried out, because I was half thinking that I could do what Tipsy did and go mediums to the end. So I did the sort of first few laps, and also obviously mediums on a drying track against the softs, much slower. But given that, I was saving for the first sort of 5 or 6 laps, and so I fell behind people. After those laps, I started pushing a bit, and I realized that I couldn't make it. I'd have been on something like 84%. I worked out at the end, which obviously doesn't get you there most of the time, at least, and certainly it's not faster than making a pit stop and putting the softs on. So I decided to put the softs on. And once I'd committed to that, I drove pretty well. I was with Dan and with Danny, and figured that I could hang in his DRS for a while. And that was what I did. Got some penalties, which were really silly, like just silly penalties. No reason to get those. I wasn't even particularly pushing hard. But yeah, then Danny and Alex had their incident, which was unfortunate. But I think Danny left plenty of space. It felt like it was Alex spinning himself on Danny to me. I was a little way away from it, but that was my sense of it. But once that had happened, it was just about the battle on track. I didn't really have any pressure from behind, even if I got another 3 seconds. So I just went for it and had a really fun battle and got him on track on the last lap. Almost ran out of fuel at the end as well, which would have been a funny way to end it. But yeah, it was just really fun. Very happy to be on pace, and obviously P5. I think with a perfect race, I could have gotten a podium, but it would have been very difficult. Legend and obviously Hugo and some idiot are too fast. But like P5 is very solid, and I wasn't really ever in danger of losing that. So yeah, just very happy.
Yeah,
it did look a lot of fun on the track there. There's certainly a lot of moments between you and Danny throughout that race where you're very close to one another. I think towards the end, there's quite a lot of side-by-side action that was prolonged for quite a lot of the laps. That was quite fun to watch and commentate.
Yeah. I mean, it was only really the last lap that I had a proper go at actually trying to overtake him, because the usual thing with F1, it's better to be behind someone than it is to be in front of them. You get free lap time if you're behind somebody, which is it sucks from like a gaming, but from a racing perspective, because it means that nearly always the best thing to do is not to race. But then the last lap, obviously, it matters then that you're in front, and it's better to push at that point. So really, that was my thinking, and yeah, it was just a lot of fun. I've not had a battle like that for a little while.
Yeah, good stuff, Ter. It was good to see on stream. I know you jumped into that race the other day, last minute. It didn't exactly pan out, because I think you qualified actually pretty well, and then the game put you at the
and then I got the bug. Yeah.
So today,
I mean, it was that was a fun race too.
Yeah.
I had fun then. But yeah, today was really nice though. Like it was, I actually performed pretty well in qualifying, and the race wasn't quite as good, but like it was still fine.
Yeah, and then we've got Abu Dhabi as the final race of the season. Are you looking forward to that one?
I mean, it'll be fine. I think it's the worst track on the calendar. We had the real race today, and it was, it wasn't a classic, was it?
Have you raced
Um,
in Vietnam by any chance?
I have not actually. No.
You might change your mind
Um,
about Abu Dhabi being the worst track in the calendar if you race Vietnam, but I don't know. Maybe it's just
okay,
me.
maybe yeah. Yeah, no. I mean, Abu Dhabi's like. I mean, it really sucks. It's it's not fun to drive, not good racing. It's just not very good. But like, it'll still be nice to end the season. Hopefully, hopefully get some points. Don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But I've been doing reasonably well, I think, and I think it'll probably be my last pad race as well because I'm going to be home fairly soon.
Yeah,
Back on the wheel. So yeah.
I heard that. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. Terror back in the wheel. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I've got no idea how I'm going to do on the wheel. No idea at all.
Yeah, well, I imagine you're just going to pick up where you left off and just be, at the front again. But we'll see. A lot of these guys have been grinding this game out, so yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I mean the pad, converting to the pad, you picked it up pretty fast. I mean, at the start I was keeping pace with you, and then I was like, nope, he's gone.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely gotten faster on the pad. I mean, today I think flattered me because Brazil is like, apparently an uber pad track. Like a lot of the, legend today I think was on pad. He's fast a lot of the time, especially on pad. And I think he has got a wheel now, but I think he was still racing on the pad today because it was Brazil and it's so fast. So yeah, I mean, it's it'll be interesting to see. I don't expect to be as fast as Hugo and Some Idiot. I think they are a league above me still, even on the wheel. But hopefully I'm a little bit more competitive than I have been on the pad. Like the consistency should be easier at the very least. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be fun.
Must be quite a tricky transition between pad and wheel then, I would imagine, because you've got a much shorter throw on the triggers on a pad as opposed to what you would have under your foot on a pedal.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the main thing for me. Like, and it's the consistency that it impacts more than the 1 lap pace. Like, you can still do fast laps on the pad. It's just that to do them, you have to be very precise. And if you're trying to do it consistently over a race distance, you're going to struggle to do that. So like my race pace is often half a second or so. Half a second or so slower than it would be on the wheel because I'm able to push on the wheel and get everything out of the car every lap, whereas with the pad it's much harder.
Okay, well, listen, great race. We've got an angry Tipsy Bob waiting in the wings. He's angry he didn't get driver of the day. So
you don't want to keep Tipsy waiting.
I know. But yes, we'll see you next week in Abu Dhabi, Israel Tier 1 for the final one. Word on the street, by the way, just to give you a tip-off, is some of the guys like Hugo and some idiot are going to be doing the last to first challenge. So yeah, you got that to contend with. Maybe that can play into your strategy a little bit. And,
yeah, I think Hugo and Cody were going to do it today if it was dry, but they decided not to because it was wet. So that would have been fun. To see if I could beat them, even if they were starting from the back. I suspect not, but yeah, that'll be an interesting one, won't it? Starting from the back.
Yeah, I did a race before where somebody had won a championship in another league. I think it was ASN or something, and they did the last to first challenge. It was Brownie and some idiot, and by the first corner they'd passed me. I was like,
nice.
Come on.
Yeah. No, they're pretty insane. Like Some Idiot particularly is an incredibly good driver.
Yeah.
Just like a wealth of knowledge and a wealth of experience.
The benchmark, yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, well, I'll get on to Tipsy Bob here. Tara, once again, we'll speak to you soon, I'm sure, and it was a pleasure to call your race. We'll speak to you next week, I'm pretty sure.
Yep, thanks a lot for the commentary, guys. Appreciate it.
All the best. Bye.
Bye.
So, saving the best to last, it's Sir Tipsy of the Bobdom. How's it going?
Well, all right. I was just can we bring Beamer in because he really doesn't want to get brought in, and I said to hell with it. I'm gonna get you dragged in because I want to question him live to the world why he was sitting backwards on the grass.
Yeah, bring him in, man. Bring him in. Let's do this. He's probably.
Beamer getting here. Oh, all right, Beamer. That was an absolute. Beamer. We see. I was kind of checking in with him there earlier because he was kind of wrecking his room. Like, listen to him. Like, listen
Is that his head against the keyboard?
he said
That's
he was lifting his keyboard up in the air without using his hands.
no, I mean, I'm not even lifting it into the air. I'm just like, you know, when you have nothing to do and you do like random shit, and that's how I'm lifting it up. But it sounds angry, so that's good.
You know this is live, and you just said shit.
I'm a driver. I can say that. I'm sorry.
Well, I've brought you in because I want to interview you, but of course I'll answer Chief's race or question, even though he didn't ask me. Hello, Bruce, by the way.
Can I just interject quickly?
No, you can't. So anyway,
2 seconds before I got moved in here, I thought, I feel like Tipsy is the kind of person that would set me up. Maybe I should check the stream to make sure I'm not getting moved. And then I was here.
Sure.
Yep.
You've known me, what, 3 years? We have done many races together, many seasons together, many commentating sessions together. What makes you think that I, of all people, would set you up?
The 3 years of experience we had talking, chatting, and racing together made me think that you would set me up.
Well, you would be correct. I want to know, why were you sitting backwards on the grass watching everyone go by whenever you were in the Ferrari and you could have got points? What
Because I didn't want to do an unsafe rejoin. That's why I didn't. That's why I watched.
You like the fact that I kind of slowed down and went right past you, just to make sure you seen me, that I'm passing you? Did you see that?
If it lost you a second, then it's a win in my book.
Well, to kind of just address the race, basically, I set probably one of the best qualities I've set from Brazil over the past 2 days. What is it, 1:7.2, which is not much compared to the other guys, but considering I don't practice this, I'm sounding like a broken record. I was pretty happy with that, and to see that I was like only a couple of hundreds behind Beamer, who like lives on this game.
No, but yeah.
I'm still talking, Beamer.
I had a terrible qualifying, and I'm not happy.
Beamer, can you still hear my voice? That means I'm still talking. Anyway, so yeah, I got up behind Beams, but it was a wet start. And Mr. Chief, you know yourself, I detest wet races. But I feel I'm getting better. What I did was I underfueled my car and ran pretty much most of that first wet stint in lean mix. And there was a fantastic moment. I don't know if you got it on stream, Chief.
Oh no, I know what you mean.
Oh yes, here goes. There was this excellent moment coming around the Senna S's where there seems to be a little bit of commotion. There's a good Irish word. A little bit of commotion going on between Copy and I think it was Beamer.
No, Richard.
Oh well, Richard then. Okay, and there was this little McLaren with like a wee bright green helmet, and he just
I wasn't happy.
Up the middle. I just went right in between them, and it was like, that is an OP overtake on someone like Cops. Cops is brilliant. I was chuffed with that. Anyway, continuing on with the race, seeing everyone coming out on the softs, and I thought, I think I've made a grave mistake, is what I thought. But that was all right. I went for it. Then I seen Pixel, who I was kind of battling for Pixel. He was my main guy because he was just behind me. Beamer had passed me ahead, but then of course we all know what happened later on. So I seen Pixel behind me, and he came out behind me. I think he was 23 seconds, and if I pitted, it would have been for used softs, and I didn't want to do that, and I didn't want to put myself 3 seconds ahead of Pixel and then Fox as well, because Fox had a lot of pace in this race. So I decided to stay out, and I ended up with 80% wear on my front right, and I think it was 78 on my front left. And I was just nursing my car to the end because I could see Fox was just closing in fast. Wasn't panicking too much because I seen he had the 6 seconds. It was more Pixel I was watching out for because we were equal in 3 seconds. And then yeah, I managed to go from, I think it was P12 on one stop on really old mediums. But I guess that's not worth driver of the day. What would you think, Chief? Is that worth? I bet you Chief's not even here. I bet you he's away to make tea because this is what he does. Boosted, let me tell you something.
That's what everyone would do when you're the one interviewed.
I don't know if you know Boosted, but I know Chief, right? I've seen his face in real life. I have raced him. We have touched skin, okay? And so he knows what I'm like, and he knows that I do not shut up, which is kind of just moment of weakness. So he brings me in so that he can yoink off to get a, well, that's actually the wrong expression, but he can disappear to get a cup of tea. So, Chief, you still there?
Oh, sorry, I'm just talking, interacting with chat. Triton said, imagine not getting Bob driver of the day, and I'm going to respond, if Bob finished first from last, he wouldn't get driver of the day from me.
No. Well, I mean, I think I was really worthy of getting the driver of the day yesterday, and then Dragon got it. Yes, Dragon did get one place ahead of me, granted, but he didn't have to battle like I did. And then that fantastic performance again for me, I didn't get driver of the day either, but I really don't care.
Where did you finish P6 yesterday, isn't that right?
Yeah,
I think I would have probably given you driver of the day yesterday, but today you had that penalty, and I was just like, you know, I had to give it to my man Danny today, but maybe next week, man. Abu Dhabi. Everybody loves that track, right?
It's just.
I'm the only one looking forward to it.
Beamer, just wise up. Just wise up. What do you mean looking forward to Abu Dhabi?
Because I practiced like 40 hours for it last season to try and beat Satoshi before inevitably not beating Satoshi, so I'm good at it.
You don't need to practice Abu Dhabi. It's like 10 million feet wide. It's like
what?
You know what I mean?
What?
It's such a rubbish track.
Yes, but I still like driving it because I'm not shit at it. It's like, I mean, like Russia is objectively terrible, but I got the podium, so I like it.
Not objectively terrible.
But how can you like Russia but not like Abu Dhabi? It's the same track.
How can you end up backwards in Brazil? It's so easy to drive it.
I spun on traction. What do you want?
Why did you spin on traction?
Because I held my throttle pedal for too long, or tried to apply.
Why did you do that?
Because I guess I didn't have like the feel in my foot, and I thought I had more grip than I actually did.
You were pumping too much blood to your thingamajig because you were lifting your keyboard with it.
No, that's not how I do my throttle application.
Probably going over people's head, but me and Beamer were busy discussing this off air, and he was
I'm sorry, the blood is coming back.
He explained to me how he was able to lift his keyboard without using his hands.
That's not true. I literally said my fingers. I don't know if fingers aren't part of the hands to you. I don't want to meet you because it's probably disgusting. Oh, holy shit!
See, whenever we have the two SRL meetup, are you gonna give me a?
I will give you. I will shake your hand if your hand has 5 fingers. I can tolerate 4 and 6, but everything else is weird.
Shaking my hand? What's that crap? You're not going to give.
Sorry, socially distanced. Shaking your elbow. I don't know.
Of course, socially distanced, but whenever all that shebang's all over and done with, eventually, which it will eventually be end at some point, whenever we have the meetup, are you going to give me a hug?
Yes.
There we go.
Oh,
it's promised.
What a wholesome way to end this. Oh no, we're halfway.
Can we just point out that I'm 6'1", so what's that? 180 something meters. 100 and something meters. What?
Oh my God! Wow, Jesus!
Holy shit!
How'd you fit in the house?
You really, you could really lift the keyboard without your hands. My God.
So, yeah, 1.8 whatever meters, and Beamer is like what, 4 feet. So
yes,
he's going to be a really convenient height.
I think I'm like a little taller than Kitsune. But...
Kitsune's tiny. She keeps on saying, Matt,
yeah, I know she's tiny, and I'm tiny as well. So yeah.
So, but yeah, so there I'm going to get a hug from Beamer. There we go. I'm actively going to seek out the little German dude and give him a wee hug.
Oh, that's
lovely.
Sorry,
lovely.
Every bystander will think he's my father.
Sorry, is there? I kind of just spoiling this. Is there anything you want to ask?
Yeah, we've got a special guest. So let me just bring him in. It's Mersu from Finland.
Welcome to Finland.
What WTF? Welcome to Finland.
Sorry, this is completely over my head. What?
Sorry, I'll
It's
explain
fine,
it.
we'll tell you after.
I'll explain afterwards. But yeah, I think we'll run it up there for this stream.
Would you ask me a question? I think his commentating was brilliant, and he doesn't talk to me. So, Mr. Booster, can you ask me a question?
Oh sure. Yeah.
Just staying squarely out of the situation here. There are far too many pitfalls to fall into here.
That's just talking to Tipsy. It
Yeah,
works like that.
you'll get used to it after a while. Yeah.
There's so many wrong things you could say. I say something about a handshake. He just accuses me of not wanting to hug him. Like there's so many traps here. You can say so much wrong.
Well, is there going to be an EGL tournament, Chief?
Yeah, I think we will have one in January. I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what's.
I will so quote you on that.
And
I didn't say what year though.
have we got the commentators nailed down?
No, we haven't even looked at it yet. I think the first week of January we'll get this season over with, and then we'll.
What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Beamer, what the hell?
Do we have the commentator with the two of us in the channel? And Chief just goes, no, we haven't thought about it yet. That's great response. I can appreciate that.
See, whenever we're put on the mic, we could become. I get my commentator voice. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the EGL. All that crap, you know. I'll be with Beamer and I'll be making him feel awkward. But I mean, if we're not good enough, Beamer.
Yes, it's true. Maybe I'm just too good into it. Several needs me to drive. Lol. No.
No.
We're gonna poach all the SLR drivers this time.
We'll just poach all the
did I
2S
say
drivers.
that loud? Yeah, that's unlucky for you. I'm gonna drive for you. That's unreal.
Yeah. Well, we have a marginal lead at the minute, so we're all right. We've got a bit of a cushion there.
You can afford one bad EGL.
Yeah.
If we win, then it's still 3-3.
Yeah.
Is this have we breached the EGL record of the longest?
We've certainly breached the record of the longest interviews on one viewer without ending, and now we're up to 3 again. So I call that total success.
I tell you, we should create something like a 2S or SLR podcast. I've been saying it for ages. And people think I'm taking the piss, but I'm not. It'll be brilliant. Let's just get all the guys in, have wee cards where we'll have a topic and we'll discuss the topic for the next for 10 minutes, and then we'll move on. But everything's tongue in cheek. It's just a bit of crack. It'll be brilliant.
Yesterday, Tara and I were talking with Joel because he, wanted to interview us about the season. We were talking about the SLR season that I don't remember at all for 70 minutes straight. So, that should happen. And we only mentioned 5 drivers, and we probably insulted all of them. So that's fine. Yeah, Producer podcast is coming. Confirmed. You heard it here first.
Maybe a little bit of singing too, Beamer. Would you? Would you sing Country Roads with me?
I need some preparation, but sure.
Almost heaven. Come on. Okay.
I can't sing.
I think we've extended this enough. I think we've melted, boosted, and Chief's brains long enough.
Yeah.
Just remember, we just called a race, and we've just done 5 interviews already. So yeah, we're done. We're ready for bed.
Yeah, that race was 35 minutes ago. I'm not even sad anymore that I DNF'd.
We're ready for bagels. That's what we're ready for.
Hey, I see what you did there. Nice.
What's that meme? Is bagels just spinning, or no? Wait, what's the joke?
It's every week we in the commentary channel on SLR we say, right, this word, we have to use this word somehow, but it has to be subtly used. So last week was gaggle, and I think at the end of the week
that's always easy.
Yeah, that's where it all started. The gaggle.
Can you give me a? We should do that. You could make it with a every commentator gets a word, and the other commentator has to guess which the odd word is. That sounds great.
Yeah. I like it.
And then you give me some word that's proper English, and Tara will just sip his tea and say, "This word is too posh. Timo wouldn't know it." And then,
Was that your posh accent, Beamer? Was it?
No, it wasn't. It was my pretentious voice, which is mean to Tara. I didn't mean that.
It is mean. After all those experiences you have with Tara and you treat him like that, that's disgusting.
He's treating me disgustingly as well, so he has it coming.
Right. Well, how about this? See this idea about these words? How about this one? Why don't we pick like a random band and a random song from a random musician, and then you have to get in lines from the song.
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
Like, you know, you're going, oh, and he's going in the corner. Oh my goodness, and everyone hurts. Okay.
Sometimes, yeah.
Or if it was Brazil and you see Timo over in the corner, it would be that's Timo in the corner.
I don't know enough music to do that.
That's probably before your time, Beams.
Yeah, yeah.
Boost is probably thinking, who the hell are these guys? I bet you this was a professional stream before he brought me and Beamer came in. Beamer, I think you spoiled this whole thing. We were having a really great in-depth discussion, and you had to come in and bring your.
Didn't you literally tell them to bring me in because you wanted to ask me something?
Well, I actually brought you in, but that's beside the point.
My God. Rooster just really wants to go, but he can't because we're here. And I don't even feel bad.
Like, at what point do we decide that pulling these two in at the same time was a bit of a silly idea?
I'm thinking about an hour's time. We're like, yeah.
To be fair, I do give pretty much many people a bit of abuse, but it's all love. It's harmless. Some people don't like it. That's fine.
Yeah.
But the guys that know me, Beams, he's for game. So don't worry, Boosted. If I'll be looking forward to maybe if I get back on the mic, I'll do a commentating session with you, and then I'll torture you as well.
Brilliant. I look forward to it.
Chief, I haven't done a commentating session with you with ages.
Yeah, I think Baku last season, maybe.
Canada? Didn't you do that Canada together 2 years ago? No, 2 seasons ago.
Beamer, see if you remember that. You are actually a female.
A female? Okay.
That's fun. Jesus.
Women can remember something you said 17 years ago. Sorry if I shouted and just kind of destroyed one of these eardrums, but being married, I don't know how long I've been married now, I should know that. You know, they say the first 10 years is the worst. Everything after that's pure hell.
Yeah, they're always right, even when they're wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Don't do it, guys. Don't do it.
Don't get married. That's for me and Chief. Chief's obviously considerably older than me by like what, 5 years?
At least 500, yeah.
At least 5. What, 40, Chief? 41?
42, the meaning of life.
Oh my God. You're even older than I realized.
I thought you were to say you're even older than my dad.
Yeah, I'll be 36 in March.
Wait, he's not? Oh.
Well,
oh God.
well.
This is weird.
I we really need to let you go now because it's literally like 11 o'clock. But I like the fact that you kind of played a homage to something my mum said, Chief, for a while, that there's no back doors in her.
Yeah, that one made me laugh for a long time, man. Yeah. My current status is Mercy, as a Mercy quote.
There you go.
Is it welcome to Finland?
No, it's get learned. Get learned. But yes, listen, we will have to wrap this up because I think both me and Busames, we need a toilet break badly, or else I'm gonna just urinate all over myself. And,
yeah, I was gonna get a toilet break like right before you moved me in because I thought Tipsy's gonna talk for half an hour. I have time.
Rip.
So if I kind of keep talking to you guys, does that mean you're gonna wet yourselves?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. If
oh, that's a challenge. That's a challenge, Tipsy.
Right.
So the weather. How's the weather in Northern Ireland?
Is that a rhetorical question? Seriously?
Yes.
You're literally asking what the weather's like in Ireland.
Yes.
It was rubbish. We have like 1 day of sunshine.
Can you confirm, Chief? I still hear Chief. Are we still streaming, Chief?
I'm just.
If you can hear water running, if you keep pissing into a bottle.
I'm just enjoying the warmth before it goes cold.
I will honestly shut up now.
It is considerably warmer, so there's an upside here, Chief. It's okay.
On that note, thanks for everybody for watching. I think we've actually increased our viewers to 7 now, so from 1 to 7. So
Welcome to Finland.
You need a podcast.
it's coming. It's in the works.
We're probably not that far off between having like a 50-50 split on this stream between the race and the interviews.
Yeah, we just gotta keep going. Every hour.
Next SLR race, I'll move Tipsy in so he can do the interviews for us. Then we don't need to worry.
Yeah, you just leave and do some Skip Barber race, come back, and it'll still be alright.
I literally just about missed the sign up for the last one, and now the next one is in half an hour already. And after the race, I tried to sign up for one, and didn't. That's how long we've been here.
Damn. Yeah, we
I
gotta go.
just say that to stall it even further.
Damn.
They
No,
wanna go- they
Press the
wanna go-
button, Chief. Press the button. It's okay. You can go.
They want to go and empty their bladders.
I know. I don't care.
Enough about this. Bye.
Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.
That was wild.